Seo-hee's heart stops as she turns the corner, her breath catching in her throat. There, in the dimly lit hallway, Baek Yeo-sa and Ji-hye whisper urgently, their faces inches apart. The cold blue light from the sconces casts long shadows, and Seo-hee's reflection in the ornate mirror betrays her shock. She presses herself against the wall, her mind racing. What are they plotting? The muffled voices fade as she retreats, but the image of their secret meeting burns in her mind. The dining room is bathed in warm, golden light, but the icy tension is palpable. Seo-hee forces a smile as she passes the salt to Ji-hye, her fingers trembling slightly. Across the table, Baek Yeo-sa watches her with hawk-like intensity. Seo-hee's laughter sounds hollow even to her own ears as she engages in small talk, all while her mind replays the hallway encounter. The clinking of silverware feels like accusations, and she wonders if they can hear the frantic beating of her heart. Do-jun frowns at the security monitor, his fingers pausing over the keyboard. On screen, Seo-hee paces her room for the third time this hour, her phone discarded on the bed. The timestamp shows she's missed his last 3 calls. He leans closer, noticing how she keeps glancing at the door, paranoid, jumpy. This isn't the Seo-hee he knows. Behind him, the office's neutral tones and soft hum of electronics do nothing to calm his rising suspicion. What is she hiding? Rain lashes against the mansion's windows as Seo-hee watches from the staircase. The maid, kind-eyed Mrs. Kim, who always brought her ginger tea, stands trembling in the foyer, a single suitcase at her feet. Baek Yeo-sa's voice is cold as she dismisses her without explanation. The maid's tear-streaked face turns towards Seo-hee for just a moment, a silent plea in her eyes, before she's ushered out into the storm. The heavy door closes with finality, and Seo-hee feels the first real chill of fear. What could warrant such cruelty? Seo-hee catches the maid in the shadowed corridor near the servants' entrance. The older woman's hands are ice cold as she clutches Seo-hee's wrist. "The study," she breathes, her voice barely audible over the rain. "Behind the 3rd shelf. A safe. You must." Footsteps echo down the hall and the maid pulls away, but not before Seo-hee sees the terror in her eyes. As the maid disappears into the storm, Seo-hee's fingers trace her own wrist where the woman's desperate grip still lingers like a brand. The camera zooms in on Baek Yeo-sa's perfectly manicured fingers adjusting a gilded frame in the hallway. As the painting settles into place, the faint red light of a hidden winks once. Her reflection in the glass shows a satisfied smirk as she watches Seo-hee's distant figure through the artwork. The house is her chessboard, every ornament a potential spy. She hums softly, a melody at odds with her calculating gaze that follows Seo-hee's every move through the labyrinth of their home. Moonlight filters through the study's heavy curtains as Seo-hee runs her fingers along the bookshelf. The maid's words echo in her mind. 3rd shelf. Her breath hitches when she feels the slight give in the wood. A soft click, and a section swings inward to reveal a sleek digital safe. The glow of the keypad paints her face green in the darkness. Somewhere in the house, a clock chimes midnight, each toll like a hammer to her ribs. What secrets does this metal box hold that warranted a maid's exile? The safe beeps softly as Seo-hee tries another code. Suddenly, footsteps. Her head whips toward the door as the handle turns. In her panic, she barely registers the safe screen flashing, "Access denied," before she slams it shut. The bookshelf swings back into place just as the door creaks open. Her pulse thunders in her ears as she grabs a random book, pretending to read. But the scent of Baek Yeo-sa's perfume already fills the room, and Seo-hee knows the game has changed. Baek Yeo-sa stands framed in the doorway, her red lips curving into a smile that doesn't reach her eyes. "Reading so late, darling?" she purrs, stepping closer. Seo-hee's knuckles whiten around the book as she forces a nod. The older woman's gaze flicks to the bookshelf. Too long, before returning to Seo-hee's face. "How diligent." The words drip with false sweetness. In that moment, Seo-hee realizes, this is a test. She meets Baek Yeo-sa's stare, their silent battle waged in the space between heartbeats. Back in her room, Seo-hee leans against the door, her legs finally giving way. That's when she sees it, a slip of paper barely visible under the door. Her hands shake as she unfolds it. The crack is wider than you think. The note reads in jagged handwriting. Outside, thunder rumbles as the mansion's lights flicker. Seo-hee's shadow stretches monstrously across the wall behind her. Somewhere in this house of lies, an ally is reaching out. But as the storm rages, one question remains. Is this a lifeline or another trap?